Supreme charges $168. For a hoodie, the factory gets about $15 to produce. Lululemon charges $138 for a hoodie that costs roughly $12 to make. Fear of God sells exclusivity. What they're actually selling is a story about exclusivity. So I went through a dozen of the biggest hoodie brands. Most are selling you marketing. A few are selling actual construction. And one of them costs exactly the same as Supreme. Same price. Completely different product. Before we start, you need to know how to evaluate a hoodie. Not by the logo. Not by the celebrity wearing it. Not by the price tag. 3 things matter: fabric weight, seam construction, and what happens to both after years of washing. One of the brands on this list makes a better hoodie than Supreme for less than half the price. Another created the construction technique premium brands still use today. And the #1 hoodie costs exactly the same as Supreme. That's the one that surprised me. Before we start the ranking, you need to see this. Because once you do, you'll never look at premium hoodies the same way again. This hoodie costs about $18. Not $80. Not $120. Not $168. $18. Gildan is one of the largest fleece manufacturers in North America. And whether people realize it or not, this blank explains a huge part of the hoodie industry. Because many brands aren't selling a dramatically different product. They're selling a dramatically different story. Remember this number, $18. We'll come back to it later. Most hoodie brands are trying to reinvent the hoodie. Russell Athletic is the reason the hoodie exists in the first place. Back in 1902, Benjamin Russell started solving a simple problem. Athletic gear wasn't surviving athletic use. The result eventually became the modern athletic sweatshirt. Today that heritage costs about $20. No celebrity campaign. No luxury positioning. Just the company that helped create the category. If you've ever worn a hoodie and thought, this feels normal, there's a good chance Hanes helped define what normal feels like. Their 7.8-ounce fleece construction became one of the foundations of the category, which creates a strange situation. Brands now charge 3 and 4 times more for products built on standards Hanes helped establish. Price around $28. Most hoodies are designed to be sold. Carhartt hoodies are designed to fail a test. Because if a seam breaks on a job site, the customer notices immediately. That's why you get triple-stitch construction, reinforced stress points, 10.5-ounce fleece, and design decisions made by people expecting abuse, not compliments. At around $55, it's one of the easiest value arguments on this list. Most brands talk about softness. Almost nobody talks about what happens after 50 washes. One brand on this list solved that problem nearly 90 years ago. We'll get there soon. The easiest way to lower the price of a hoodie is to make it worse. Uniqlo lowered the price by removing the middlemen instead. They control huge parts of their supply chain, which means less markup between factory and customer. Their smooth face fleece keeps the exterior cleaner over time, and somehow they sell it for about $40. That's why Uniqlo keeps showing up in conversations about value. Most hoodies get shorter after washing. This one doesn't. And the reason why is a decision Champion made almost 90 years ago. In 1938, they reversed the direction of the fabric grain. That single engineering decision changed the way cotton reacts to washing. They patented it, called it reverse weave. And brands still benefit from that innovation today. Price around $65. The first half of this list focused on value. The next half focuses on brands that actually justify charging more. Not through marketing, through decisions you can trace back to the product itself. Most brands hide the math. Everlane built its name on publishing it. Material cost, labor, shipping, duties, margin, the receipt line by line, which is surprisingly rare in an industry built around opacity. At about $51, you're paying for the hoodie, not for mystery. Most clothing brands hope you buy another hoodie. Patagonia built an entire department hoping you don't. Last year alone, they repaired roughly 40,000 garments. Think about that. 40,000 repairs. Because the guarantee isn't customer service. It's part of the product. Their ironclad guarantee changes the entire cost per use equation. A hoodie that gets repaired instead of replaced becomes dramatically cheaper over time. Price around $95. Fair trade certified. Made in Mexico. Now we're entering a different category. These aren't value plays anymore. These are brands obsessed with longevity. Most brands release a new hoodie every season. LL Bean spent decades proving it didn't need to. Their formula hasn't changed much because it didn't have to. Heavyweight fleece, reinforced stress points, proven durability, a satisfaction guarantee, and 40 years of evidence. Price around $90. Most fleece gets softer by damaging the fabric. Reigning Champ gets softer without damaging it at all. Their loop-back terry construction works differently. The structure lives inside the fabric, not on the surface, which means the performance survives wash cycles that destroy ordinary fleece. 390 grams per square meter, 100% cotton, around $128. No celebrity story required. For most of this video, we've been comparing different prices. Now we're going to compare the same price. Supreme, $168. American Giant, $168. And that's where the similarities end. In 2012, one article called it the greatest hoodie ever made. Their website crashed. Here's why. 100% combed ring-spun cotton. Approximately 440 grams per square meter. Made in the United States. Documented domestic supply chain. Built to be repaired. Built to be worn. Built to last. Same price as Supreme. Completely different philosophy. One company spent decades building a hoodie. The other spent decades building a logo. Same price. Completely different products. Here's what a dozen hoodie brands taught me. The hoodie industry doesn't have a quality problem. It has an information problem. Because once you understand construction, the marketing starts looking very different. And once you understand where the money goes, the smartest purchases become obvious. A logo is not a hoodie. Subscribe before you buy your next hoodie. Every week. One industry. Same factory logic. Different price tag. Next episode. Gym wear. The category where some brands charge the most while using the least fabric. Subscribe so you don't miss it.